last night, yo, and I'm like, I'm just gonna assume he meant to put up there.
Hey,
What is going on, people? It is Saturday night, and next podcast is live. Guys, we have a great show for you tonight. As you can hear, the panel is full of energy. Probably been drinking some of that Bob Ross, like, positive energy drinks. It has been crazy getting everybody in the panel, into the hangout. It's been an absolute blast. And I know it's just going to flow right over into the show tonight. We have a very special show. We have the debut, a first-time special guest on the channel. I cannot wait to introduce this man. Love his YouTube channel. He's on a couple shows. We will get into that. We are going to be talking about Gamescom. We are going to be talking about a PlayStation 5 unveiling. We're going to be talking about Halo. And you know, when I talk about Halo, I get excited. Extra excited, more than usual. So I think tonight is going to be a great show. But we can't get into the topics without doing the intros. And I'm going to roll with the special guest first. He is a man who is on the panel of the Saltiest Gaming podcast. Not only that, he is also on the panel of what I like to call our brother podcast, because it's on the same night, which is The Shop. Shout out to PTK Blam. He has his own YouTube channel where, guess what, guys? He actually puts out common sense gaming news videos. I am proud to introduce as our guest tonight, Centurion!
How's it going, everybody? And I am absolutely humbled and honored to be sitting here today on this podcast with a group of people that I have been familiar with and listening to for quite a long time. So really, thank you so much for having me here.
Hey, Mega, I think you just called us old. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think he did.
Nah, Centurion, I gotta say, real quick, when it comes to your YouTube channel, I gotta say, it is a breath of fresh air to see somebody who, I don't want to say thinks similarly to me, but putting that common sense out there and kind of showing that the skies aren't as gray as a lot of people out there are talking about when it comes to Xbox right now. I got to give you a round of applause. You are doing a great job on your channel, brother.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not trying to be a fanboy. I will be critical when it's time to be critical, but it definitely isn't as bad as a lot of people want to make it out to be. The industry is definitely changing. And like I've said in another video, with change comes resistance, and certain people are going to have more resistance than others.
Nice. That is one of the greatest ways I have ever heard somebody explain it. So I can't wait to get into the topics with you, brother, but we gotta introduce the rest of the panel real quick. So just bear with me. I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. Next on the list, making his return to the next podcast. He did such a great job last week that it was a no-brainer to have him back on again. So this is his second week in a row. My brother, Crispy!
Bomb. What?
Bomb.
Will somebody please get this dude on Inside Xbox? Come on.
Who, me?
Let's do it. Yeah, you.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, you're like the hype man. You're like fucking Rod Riggles and the fucking NFL Fox bullshit. You know, you're like, yeah, let's do this shit,
hype,
man.
All I could think of was Kevin Hart. For some reason.
All I'm gonna say after that is Xbox is the best box, and that's it.
Ooh, and guess what? I'm gonna finish that. I am the best bot. Uh-oh. Yo, Crispy, it is great to have you on again. Again, I can't wait to get into the topics with you, but we got more introductions. Coming from the Dirty Apple NYC, one of the most opinionated gaming YouTubers out there, Knoxximus!
Yo, what's poppin'? Yo, it's gonna be a good show, bro.
I think so, man. The topics,
it's gonna be a good show, man. I can't wait to get this cracking, man. Let's get it.
Nice, brother. And next on the list, last but certainly not least, one of the guys who has been with me from the beginning, coming live from the 405. And you know, he's just trying to talk to the intelligent gamer out there, K Mega.
What's happening? What's going on? Been here too damn long, man.
Not
I got to
too,
look for
too long, really?
Yeah, man.
I feel like we started yesterday. What are you talking about?
Oh man, well then, hell, if that's the case, I look at it. I think we started 20 years ago.
Brother, do you remember what the show used to look like when we first started?
Oh man, what we sounded like when we first started.
Oh goodness,
we were all fresh, especially me. I was just getting in there, and oh man, I was afraid to talk. Now I just can't shut up sometimes. But hey, it is what it is.
That is true. That is true. Yeah.
You're worse though. But no, it's good. Good to be here. It's good to be here, man.
Hey, I was told on Twitter today by our brother Glorious Kev, you know, the PC PC elitist. He said that one of the things that he can say about me since 2014, I have been one of the most consistent YouTubers out there when it comes to, you know, the whole power narrative and how I don't really care about power and stuff like that. Huge shout out to Glorious Kev, man. I appreciate that. Dude, getting something like that, a compliment from a PC gamer, knowing that you're like a pro Xbox dude, like that's hard to get, man. So I definitely appreciate that, yeah. But enough about me. Let's get into these topics, and I'm throwing a curveball right off the bat, people. An article came out 3 days ago about a game that some people thought was absolutely long gone. Other people, we haven't heard about it in such a long time, and that would be the sequel to Dead Island. And I gotta say, with the news coming out about Dead Island 2 now that I'm about to share with you, I'm already gonna put my opinion out there now. This game is dead, absolutely dead. And the reason why, it has a new development team. So it is still happening, people. A new development team has taken over this project called Dead Island 2. And you guys want to know who the development team is? It is a development team called Dambuster. And if you don't know who Dambuster is, they are the dev team that made Homefront Revolution. Are you guys excited now? Oh no. Yo, I'm going to bring it to our special guest. Centurion, first off, I don't know what you think about Dead Island, if you were looking forward to a zombie game like Dead Island 2. But what do you think about the new development team that is working on it now? Because I've played Homefront Revolution, and I gotta say, I'm not too excited about this. What do you think, brother?
I'm probably the same way. I bought Homefront Revolution for $9, and for $9, it was probably worth that. It was definitely a very repetitive game that actually had a very lackluster story. Dead Island 2. I remember I played Dying Light before I played the original Dead Island, and I was kind of hoping that Dead Island was going to be like Dying Light, and it totally was a different experience. I enjoyed Dead Island, but I loved Dying Light, and probably because of Dying Light 2, yeah, you're probably right. This Dead Island 2 game is probably going to end up getting crushed by its competition, and it's going to probably end up being a very cheap bargain bin title by the time it's done. And it's never a good sign when you see a game change hands, because now at this point you're finishing someone else's work, and you could be having a total different direction or ideal when it comes to finishing somebody's work.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, if they had said another dev team which had a better track record of finishing games and having the games with a fluid gameplay mechanic and all sorts of good stuff, I could be a little more excited about this. Now, granted, Centurion, I will let you know, I am a little kind of like, I'm a little washed out from the whole zombie thing. Like, I am past, like, the whole zombie hype. I know our brother Mooch out there, he's still a zombie addict, but as far as I go, I was already kind of like meh about it as a zombie game, and now with who they have working on it now, I think this is a done deal that nothing is going to come out of this, man.
Let's be honest for a second. Techland left, and that was the end of the game. You could sit here and say whatever you want, but Techland, I mean, if you haven't played Dying Light, you have to play it. I mean, it is parkour, zombie destruction. That's how I could describe it. With a giant open world. The game is ridiculous.
It is a big world. It is a big world, man.
And I'll tell you right now, it scares you too because you don't want to go out at night because you're gonna get your ass fucked up.
Dude, that's the only time to play. You're supposed to sleep during the day and go out only at night, man.
Because you'll get the most, legendary weapons or whatever. Like you'll get all the best shit, but it's still like they come at you
hunted
so
all
hard.
Night long. Yeah, you're getting hunted all night long. Well,
and if you don't know that parkour, forget it. And what I'm saying is that. And then you have Sumo Digital. Did Sumo Digital work on Crackdown 3?
Yeah, and I think they did a pretty good job, except for the...
They left. They left. Just like they left this game. Come on.
No, Sumo is in the credits at the beginning of Crackdown, all right? We'll just put it there. And I had a lot of fun with the campaign. That's all I'm going to say about that before we start getting into the whole Crackdown fiasco or whatnot. But... Crispy, so you think as soon as Techland, as soon as they left, that was pretty much it for this title? There's no coming back. It's a done deal.
Oh, bargain basement. It'll be another. A lot of people consider State of Decay, which I played it, and it's. I mean, it's gotten better, but I mean, we've said that about Division 1. We've said it about so many games, and they don't hold. The revenue and everything that they want. So they just kind of leave them to the wayside.
All right. I got you, brother. Yo, Mega, when it comes to this game, I know, Mega, you are a type of person, you will play almost any game. So I don't know, were you looking forward to Dead Island 2? Were you looking for information about it? Because they've had a lot of turmoil in the development cycle for this game. Devs dropping off, all sorts of stuff. What do you think about them getting the dev team that made Homefront Revolution, man? Are you psyched for this?
No, I wasn't psyched for it when they showed that crazy trailer at that E3 years ago. I'm kind of in the same boat where you are with zombie games. I mean, there's only really a couple of zombie games that I really want to come back. Left 4 Dead is definitely one.
I'm probably the only one on the panel. I'm like, Left 4 Dead is meh.
Left 4 Dead is the one that I want to come back. All the rest of them, I mean, there's a couple of others, but Left 4 Dead is the number one. So this one here, I don't know. Dying Light is really good, but haven't gotten my teeth fully in it. I probably played about 4 hours into it. Haven't really done a lot yet. So, but it is good. Homefront, it had a lot of potential, man. It had a lot of potential. It was just so broken at launch, and then it just didn't gravitate the ideas of what they were trying to do. And then when they did add all the content, the game was already dead. So it was just, it's one of those things where I think these guys can learn from their mistakes, and they can get this game to be a lot better than what the game that everybody is known to know what they've done with. They can learn from that. I don't have a problem with that. These developers can change and adapt and do better things, regardless if they have a bad game on their portfolio. I just for me, it's just not something that I've been that interested in. And I think really overall that there's really not a lot of people that's overly hyped for the game, for the fact that it's just because it's been too long. Once you keep talking about a game, talking about it over and over and over, it gets to a point to where it's a stalemate, and people just kind of like, I'm going on to something.
I have to disagree because PlayStation continues to do it. I mean, they basically regurgitated for fucking 4 E3s almost.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I get that, but that's a different animal. Because it's because that fan base. Not all PlayStation fans, of course, but that fan base is just they like talking about shit over and over and over again, because most of the times they're not going to be talking about the game itself. They're going to be talking about everything that got to do with Xbox or Nintendo or PC, and that kind of elite takes away from what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So,
no, I kind of agree with you, but what I'm saying is like, you sold 100 million consoles. There has to be a ton of casual gamers in there. And I think the casual gamer that's going to play on an actual console is going to play something that they don't have to compete with anyone. And I think that's a huge deal in the difference between people that love Xbox and the people that love PlayStation. You know what I mean? You don't want to compete against somebody. I'm going to tell you right now, some of the, God of War, some of these games that I've seen from PlayStation, even just watching people play them, it is so like the graphically, the tone, you know what I mean? It's so good that I'm like, I get it. I do get it. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that, like, yeah, I'm not saying that God of War is trash or anything. What I'm saying to you
why is it eye candy only though? But it's not eye candy.
Well, what he was describing there was eye candy.
Eye candy is part of the package.
Did I get you caught in your feels, bro?
But it's a complete package. No, I'm not. It's feeling has nothing to do with it. It's just it's an absolute fact.
Knox, a complete package to an Xbox gamer is Gears of War or Halo because they provide a AAA campaign and a AAA multiplayer experience, and that is the problem that PlayStation.
I don't know who's disputing that. That's
but that's what I'm saying. Like, is the difference between the two? You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. This for me overall is get back to
yeah, we went a little left there, guys.
You know what? There was almost a GRG moment, and I was ready to jump into this, but I was like, no, let's reel it back in. But I get what you're saying. I think you're right, but it's to me I think that even if the casuals, they look at this, I think they're going to be kind of like how other people on the panel think. It's kind of like, look, the zombie thing, I've been there, I've done that. Resident Evil 7 is taking it to the whole next level.
Yeah, there's way better games.
And then we'll see what Blair Witch is going to do. Don't know, but then
that's not zombie. That's like psychological horror. Like
okay, I got you. And then you got the lower tiers when you go into the Dead. Well, Dead Rising 3 was great, but the last one. The last one wasn't that good. So it just go, I don't know. This game just doesn't, it would have to be it'd have to come at the perfect time when there's really no other big hitters that's going to come out for that game to get any static, or it needs to be one of those things where it could be a Game Pass title or something that's going to be put on
Dead Island, the original Dead Island definitely gained a cult following.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
So
how many years ago was that, Bot?
That's true. That's
probably switched over to Dying Light.
Whoever full circle and say if Techland was attached. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, if Techland was attached to Dead Island 2, you'd be like, yeah, I'm buying that shit. I'm just saying.
That's the thing, but it's passed. You might be right, but it passed so many hands now that it's one of those games that it could come out to be really good, but there's really won't be that many people that's going to hype it up because I don't think that the excitement for it is not there. Yeah. I just think that it's went past its prime. That's all I'm saying.
That bumpy road that it went through has taken like all the steam out of it. Right. And I even think even for like the cult following as well. So like
he said Dying Light, and then of course Resident Evil 7, and then you got those other games that State of Decay 2. That game is great. So I mean, it's it's not graphically polished like that. Yeah, like you're right. The remake to that, like there's so many other better, and I can't, like I said, they probably will learn from their mistakes and make this a better game. But if that game comes out and then it doesn't hold a candle to any of these other games that are really popular in the zombie space right now, it's done. It's a wrap. It's not even. So it's not going to be talked about.
I don't have the confidence in the dev team that's working on it now, in terms of it being like any sort of eye candy. Which let's be honest here, eye candy graphics catch the casual base a lot. Because like if you can make a game that graphically looks absolutely amazing, it's gonna catch the hardcore eye, but it's also gonna catch the casual's eye as well. Yeah, anything that looks closer to a movie that shows emotion, but graphically like looks absolutely intense, that'll catch the casual eye a lot more. And I don't think this dev team is put together for that. So unfortunately, I am calling the doom of this sequel right off the bat now. Like I don't see it working out, and it's unfortunate because when it comes to the cult following that we're following, or that were, you know, playing the first game, they were looking forward to the sequel. When it comes to people who are still into kind of like that zombie apocalypse kind of like story or whatnot, you know, they were looking forward to this as well. But I think Centurion made a great point when it came down to it. It's that, you know, the people that were looking forward to this as well. I think Centurion, what you were trying to say is those people, you think they moved over to Dying Light, right?
Well, yeah, because if you know, like you said, you're getting played out on zombie games.
Oh yeah.
And now, so let's look at it from a quality perspective. This game isn't going to be up to the quality as certain titles like Resident Evil 2 and Dying Light.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely when there's other zombie games on the market of a much better quality and you're a casual gamer, you're definitely going to be looking at that also. You're not going to go to the less quality experience.
I definitely agree with you, and unfortunately, I feel like even the dev team themselves, they got the shitty end of the stick here, because there was such turmoil with this project before that like they were getting kind of like, it's kind of like getting that doll, that Annabelle doll. Like you could be absolutely into dolls and ready to like, but what you got is cursed and possessed. Like it's just there's no sunshine at the end of that tunnel. So it is unfortunate, but guys, we are gonna move on, and let's move on to something I know people want to hear from us, and it is about the Halo Infinite creative director who left 343. And yeah, that's right. He's the creative director for the title that comes out in 2020. It's going to be a launch title for the Scarlet. It is a huge title in the terms of anticipation. Halo Infinite has been dubbed as a soft reboot to the franchise. 343 has gone on record as stating they are bringing Halo kind of like back to their roots, whatever that means in today's day and age or whatnot. But the Halo community is hyped for this game. They definitely want to see it. And now the creative lead, the creative director left the company, and there's been some misconceptions here. And I have the article. I have the article right here. I just want to read some things. Tim Longo, creative director for the upcoming Halo Infinite, left 343 Industries. It's a part of a leadership shakeup that arrives late in the development of the next Halo game, which is scheduled for release in fall 2020. Longo, an industry veteran who also served as creative director for Halo 5, had moved to a different role a few weeks ago. Let's see. And then, you know,
he pretty much got demoted.
And what they're trying to say here is that they did a shakeup because if you read the article, and I did post it in the DM, so hopefully you guys kind of got into it and read it. But basically they said once the game development turns into focus on a different part of the game, then they kind of mix up the leadership anyway. Then once they go to like focusing strictly on multiplayer is the main focus, then the lead of that multiplayer becomes kind of like the lead for that project. And what had happened was Tim Longo got moved to another spot, and if you had to guess, maybe he didn't like that spot or whatnot, but he decided that it'd be best to part ways. So Mega, you said you read the article. What do you think about this, and what do you think about what's going on social media right now? Because if you talk to people about this, they're calling, the sky is falling right now when it comes to 343 and Halo Infinite. What do you think about the reaction as well, man?
I think the reaction is ridiculous because I mean it's again, people have to have the same energy. When people went after the people that the same title, the person that was a director, a creative director for Naughty Dog, he left. and they jumped on PlayStation. It was like, oh, what's going on with Naughty Dog? All this and that, and PlayStation fans came back and said, look, this is not no big deal, so there's not. So this is basically kind of like the same thing. This guy was already demoted. Matter of fact, the people that he got demoted, one of the reasons why he got demoted was because of the two people that Xbox hired from PlayStation. I can't think of her name. There's two of them. There's a lady, and then there's somebody else, and they took over. Yes, they took over, and that, I guess, of course, that would kind of piss you off, especially when he was the one that's he directs, he directs what's going on, and then you get told, hey, you can't do this, and then when he sees that new hires took over his spot, that's just the bottom line. He just pretty much got demoted. He didn't want to, and I'm sure he still had the same pay, but again, it's like how they've been saying, like they're going back to the roots. They're trying to do things a little bit differently. It's a lot. It's not no big deal. It's really not a big deal. I think when you think of when how so many people perceived Halo 5 story in the first place, I mean, would you still want that same person to direct Infinite?
I mean, that's a great point right there. And I heard some people last night going towards the end of Crossfire kind of like making that same point as well. And I'm like, I can kind of see where you're going with that. To me, like at the end of the article, they stated, "Don't worry, it's not this is not going to affect the release date or anything when it comes to this game." I think when it comes down to it, Xbox and 343 know how important this Halo game is to the Halo franchise, and also being a launch title for the Scarlet. So I don't think they're gonna just like roll the dice and gamble on things at this point in time. I think they have a clear plan, even with the things that have come up. And I just don't see an issue with this the way other people do, man.
No, it's not. And that's the thing right there, was like when we talked about with I mean, we've done this before. I know that years ago when we came out and talked about Uncharted, when it got delayed again because they didn't have some kind of motion cap, something going on. Somebody left, or they had some problems with filling in a certain spot, and we were like, oh, well, this isn't a good sign for Uncharted 4 because they delayed it because somebody didn't show up, or somebody left, or whatever. And look what happened. Uncharted 4 did absolutely fine. They just needed the delay to just take care of a couple of things. Well,
they just had to delay it 3 or 4 times before.
Well, yeah, it was 3 or 4 times, but they still delayed it. The game came out. It was a success. This is no different. Like, this is just a business part. People just want to find something to bitch and complain about when in regards to Xbox. They've hired more people at 343. So if
there's nothing to complain about.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And to me, it's just kind of like, I think for people who said that they hated Halo 5 story, you would think that they would be excited about this, that they have some people that, especially if there's PlayStation fans and they love PlayStation stories, and they have some of those people that's now being that's taken over that position. So I think that you would want people to be a little bit more. You would think people be more excited and want to know more about the new people that's taken over, instead of the person that walked away because he got pissed off because he got demoted.
All right, I got you. Yo, Knox, you started to chime in on this, so I want to hear your thoughts, man.
It's the same thing, man. It's the same shit I said yesterday, bro. Like Megan just said it right now, as far as the story. I remember I said that. I'm like, this is the same guy that did part 5. Hey,
okay, yeah, you're the one that was in my memory when you said it. I was like, oh, shit.
So good riddance. You know what? If somebody made a call, they got somebody to fill the position that they felt was better suited for it. Everything is moving as it's supposed to be according to them, right? So that's it. To me, that's it. Man, I have a vision of how I want Halo Infinite to be. And, that's a me problem, right? Because my vision is my vision. Hopefully it comes close.
In your vision, I see you seeing Destiny 2 in there, like with a Halo wrapping paper, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you're gonna see that, brother.
I know it ain't nowhere near that.
You might be interested in the campaign though. If what I'm hearing is true about the campaign, like the replay value on the Halo Infinite campaign could be through the roof, brother. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Yo, Centurion, what are your thoughts about this? Me and Knox, we were on Crossfire last night. We were able to share our thoughts, and of course, K Mega, he has GRG on Friday nights as well. So I don't know what you're thinking about this, man. I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, for starters, we don't know if this guy did something to get himself demoted in the first place. And not only that, but hey, it's a cutthroat world out there. And when somebody shows up that can do your job better than you either got to step up or, something like that could happen. And
step up or step to the side, brother.
And it's not like they chose somebody that wasn't exactly fitted for the position. I believe her name is like Mary Olson, and there's actually a bio for her on 343's website. And it was actually put out September 2018, and she goes into saying how she's responsible for a big part of how we achieve the creative vision of a game. And at any time, she is to ensure hundreds of people are working towards a creative goal. And what was the other part? Basically, it goes into how she has to make sure hundreds of people are on the same page every single day, striving towards making sure that Halo Infinite is going to turn out to be a very great game. And when somebody like that is able to show that they can do someone's job better than they can, heckin' A, you're going to be like, yeah, we're going to give this position to her because she actually seems to want it more. She seems to be more capable of as an individual. Mm-hmm. We're not going to say you no longer have a job. We're just going to move you to the side and allow her to do her thing. And maybe this gentleman's pride got the best of him.
I hear you on that. Now, Centurion, when it comes to kind of like the social media reaction where people are like starting to talk about, doom for Halo Infinite, doom for the Halo franchise. What do you think about that reaction? I think you made a lot of sense with who they put in that place. And if people did some like mild research, they would see exactly what was going on there. They would be happy that, the creative director for Halo 5 got kind of pushed off to the side and got demoted when it came to the next Halo, because then we're thinking, possibly a better story is going to come out of this now. Like, why do you think all this negative reaction, man?
Well, sadly, in the social media, bad news sells better than good news most of the time. And regretfully, there is a large number of people out there that do enjoy seeing the stumbling of other brands. Definitely, it is kind of sad because, stuff like this happens every single day. I'm pretty sure everybody has a job out there. They know what it's like for your company to hire someone new, and this person is hired above you. Even though you've been there for years, somebody was hired above you. So it's just the chain of command, and it's just the way it happens sometimes. And to make a big deal out of something like this, definitely there's a lot of groups out there just wanting to gravitate around some kind of bad news, because there's people out there that don't want to admit that this Halo game could potentially be the blockbuster that's going to help get Project Scarlet off its feet.
Oh, yeah.
Or on its feet.
Yeah, no, definitely. When was the last time a Halo game was there for the launch of an Xbox? Was it? It was Combat Evolved, right? That was the only one that was there right from the beginning.
Yeah, if I'm right, Halo 4 didn't get released until after the Xbox One had already been launched. But the good news is, if we could take anything from what we're seeing with this Gears 5 custom console, we almost could guarantee that they are probably going to try to recapture that hype and excitement for the Gears 5 custom console and potentially make a Halo Infinite custom console on launch.
Brother, you are singing a song that I like to hear right now. Dude, that's what I'm like inside myself. I'm trying to hold back hype for thinking that might be true. If that is true, I will let you know day one when it comes to Scarlet. I will be getting the Halo version of that, definitely. Crispy, I got to ask you, brother. I know you're a Gears guy, but I let everybody out there know you don't just play Gears. You play other games. You played Halo 5 with me and O Snaps as well. What do you think about this news with the creative director leaving? Do you think it's all like that doom and gloom that people are talking about on Twitter?
Personally, I think there is a major problem with people overanalyzing shit. We have no damn clue what this guy actually did. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Bonnie Ross was the one that got shit canned, you guarantee that I'm going to be like, oh, there's something going on there. Okay. And I get it. She's the lead of 343 Studios. I get it. I get it. People are like, oh, that's not going to happen. They would never even do that. You know what I mean? But in realism, where would Gears 5? Everybody talks about Gears 5, every other day. All right. Where would Gears 5 be without Rod Ferguson?
That's a good question. I don't want to think about that, brother. That's Rod's baby right there, man.
When they were still Black Tuck Studios, I said, they hired Rod Ferguson, it's over. They're actually going to make a Gears game, not Judgment. We all played Judgment at some point.
What's a Judgment? I don't even know. Is that a game?
It doesn't exist. That's the point. All right. And you're going to say here, all right, and I'll go a step further. I'll say this. All right. If Ryan Clavin, who's been the lead since Gears Ultimate Edition for the multiplayer, okay, and he's actually a gearhead and is like, that's all he freaking plays is Gears. Okay. Got fired. I'd say, oh, we're fucked. Okay. And that's the way I look at it. Like, we're not sitting here looking at somebody that is the lead of whatever. Okay. He's the lead of the campaign. Well, guess what? We're a year and a half
director.
out.
He's got to keep everybody on the right path to complete in the game, man.
And then how many people are above him? That's my question.
A few. We'll just put it that way. There are a few.
Okay. So in realism, what influence does he actually have? He is a gopher.
Oh, damn.
Oh, go do this. Go do this. Go do that. Oh,
where's my latte?
Oh. Gopher. Hey, you got to build me something today.
Oh, on that note, I think we should move on to the next subject. Brother, yo, you are crazy, Crispy. We're gonna keep it in the realm of Halo. And Crispy, don't go anywhere, because I'm actually gonna go to you next on this. When it comes to Halo, 343 has been kind of talking here and there, giving little bits and pieces about the game. They talked to Kotaku at one point in time. Was it? No, not Kotaku. GameSpot. My bad. I have all the articles like up on my tabs right now. Gaming Bolt. They were talking about the scope of the game. Matt Booty was talking about it, and from what he was talking about, like this sounds like they heard a lot of what Halo fans were talking about, and they are developing with that in mind. When talking about like details for Halo Infinite, Matt Booty came out and said, I think the first thing that is very cool about where this game is headed is how they're thinking about expanding the world. I won't go so far to say sandbox, because when you bring up sandbox, people sort of overload that term with a lot of other things. Knox, did you hear that? Did you hear that, Knox?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
But
I heard that.
But what the team is doing to build a bigger universe and a bigger set of gameplay scenarios and just more things to explore is awesome. So right there, more things to explore. And it's just like the things...
So what are they planning to do? Make it like...
Well...
corridor?
No.
They plan on making it like Destiny. That's what they plan on doing.
Don't say that to him. You're gonna get him hyped, man. I don't think it's like that.
I'm telling you right now.
It's gonna be kind of Destiny between like a world like God of War and Destiny, kind of blended in a way.
That's beautiful right there.
Let's not lie. Xbox is a master at just taking like the multiplayer aspect and the single player aspect and saying, okay, well, we'll just create different modes. So you could go and say, all right, I just want to play single player. Okay, you can. Oh, you want to
my
play?
God. Hold on.
You want to play co-op with
my
somebody?
bad, yo, Crispy.
Cool.
Real quick. I gotta shout out an OG in the gaming community. Our brother Big Kahona is in the chat. What is up, dude? My own personal Twitch troll from back in the day, man. Whenever I was streaming on Twitch, he used to always come in and talk a lot of smack, yo. But yo, what is up, Kahuna, man? Dude, it's been a long time, yo. My bad, Crispy. I had to say that, but go ahead, brother.
In realism, we're talking about Xbox is looking at the big picture. Gaming has grown almost like 30% in the past 5 years. Okay, we're gonna sit here and say that like this isn't a multi-billion-dollar for everybody. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo company that they could have within their already owned company. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo is relying a hell of a lot on their gaming.
Nintendo's just Nintendo. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we love Nintendo. We love what they've always brought to the table. We played Mario. You know what I mean? Like that game was far ahead of its time. You know, Donkey Kong, we love that part of it. But you haven't changed. And you're relying, I mean, I get it. People love the Switch. But a lot of people are buying it for the mobile aspect of it.
Nah, man, Nintendo is definitely not somebody you can't say doesn't think outside the box. Because Nintendo has taken risks.
They literally sold you the box, man, at one point in time.
I mean, come on, bro. Nintendo sells you cardboard, my dude, with VR. Shit, you can't get more diverse than that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
well, in realism, are they really thinking outside of the box? Or are they not sticking to their guns?
Well, no, they stick to their guns with putting out quality games. You know what I'm saying? That's of course first and foremost. But they do bring in that whole motion controller shit. You know what I'm saying? They did that. You know what I mean? They did the Switch.
Right. I gotta ask. You're talking about hardware.
Yeah, I'm talking about hardware.
Innovation.
Yeah.
Okay. They have not brought anything, really, truly graphically to the table in years. And this is why that they are saying, you know what? Xbox can bring that to us. We're just going to slowly trickle it in. And I'm going to tell you something right now. A lot of people hate this, but in the end, we are going to get more and more great games from Xbox Game Studios because they are going to become third party eventually.
Oh, what?
There are going to be your core four. You're going to have Gears, Forza, freaking, and I'm telling you right now, they're going to come out with some kind of great AAA and Halo. Okay? And that's all they're going to do. And they're going to say, look, you're going to still get this on Game Pass, but you can play it wherever the fuck you want. And people are going to be like, oh, really? So I get to play Gears wherever I want?
Yo, Crispy Unchained tonight, man. I swear, yo. Now, Crispy, I will say, like, by the way, K Mega, I'm taking this GRG bait right now. You know that, right? I am taking this right now. But brother, they are not going to go third party like that. First of all, they have Playground Games working on their quote-unquote action RPG game, which we all know is Fable. So you would have to add Fable to that list of exclusives for the Xbox platform. Not only that, we don't know what the initiative has yet. They're working on unannounced game.
Multiple.
Can I
not only that, but hold on. Not only that, you also have Ninja Theory, who are basically finishing up Bleeding Edge and working on another unannounced game. I don't think all these games. I think the smaller titles, and I think Matt Booty said this as well. The smaller titles that the second party deals, the first party, kind of like smaller AA games and stuff like that. Those have the chance to go multi-plat, but when it comes down to the big guns. They're not that.
Listen,
that's Xbox platform.
They only said that. Hold on, real quick, Chris, because I'm with you on this one.
Oh no, he's like, I got your back right now.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, and everybody here knows this. Okay, listen, imagine, and Crispy just put it out the best actually that I've heard it, because look, it's like he said, you can come and get it right here on Game Pass. The cheapest way to consume this same content, right, is to either stream it on xCloud, right? Or use it on Game Pass on your PC or an Xbox, right? So if you want to get it that way, the cheapest, you get it that way by purchasing a console. If not, you prefer to get it on PlayStation 4, go ahead and get it there. You prefer to get it from Steam, go ahead and get it there. They still making that bread. And ultimately, that's what they want to do. They want to get it from us. We're giving you the cheapest option. We're giving you the cheapest option on PC or on a console to get our games. You can play. You don't have to pay $60. But if the PlayStation's guy's willing to pay $60, come on and give it to me.
This
is why it would never happen. Is because you're talking about PlayStation allowing Xbox to go into their infrastructure and basically take customers. Because
what if they have no choice, K Mega? What if they have no choice? What if so many people are playing one game that they say, I can't handle not having that? Look what they did with Fortnite. Do you not remember how much fucking shit you had to go through to try to use it on fucking PlayStation?
They're already going to have games on there, and they already have games on there.
Listen, the whole situation, it's funny as hell to me to talk about Fortnite when nobody was talking about Fortnite when people had to pay for it.
Oh, nobody. Me and Osnas, we bought Save the World, by the way, and I still I like that better than the Battle Royale, by the way.
But that was a different game. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Megan. That was a different game when they were selling it.
No, when the game first came out, it was you had to pay for it, and I bought it. I remember all day, and dealer was telling me to get the game, right? And I was like, oh man, this is revolutionary. It's going to change the game, and I'm like, this looks stupid, but I went ahead and I bought it, and then they was like, and then when I hit all day, I was like, hey man, y'all ready to play? Oh man, we stopped playing that shit. I uninstalled it. What? And I was like, all right. And so I got my money back, and I never played Fortnite ever, right? The whole point of this situation is that, look, I know people you broke it down a little scenario, bringing up Fortnite, things like that. This is why this will not work. PlayStation is not that stupid to allow a foreign company to come into their infrastructure and take away customers. Game Pass would take away from what they want to do and what they want to achieve with. I'm not saying Game Pass is going to be on PlayStation. I'm not saying that. But only certain games like Minecraft or
I'm saying their titles are going to be in the PlayStation Store.
If I may interject,
no.
Guys, special guest in the building.
I'm wanting to K Mega finish.
Okay, all right. if you allow, look, PlayStation is not going to allow a title to come out around the same time that they have a title to where it can take away from their sales. Nintendo is going to be the same way. That's why they's like, look, smaller titles. Oh yeah, okay. You could throw Cuphead. You could throw those games like that.
Ori.
Yeah, but
Battletoads
you'll never see a Halo. You'll never see a Gears of Forza, a Fable, any of the bigger titles that cost any of those titles that's AAA, that or even strong double A. Like I don't even think you would see a double Edge over there.
Hold on, hold on,
you're gonna like this.
Chris, hold on, hold that thought, man. Let our special guest talk a little bit. Like I want to hear what he says too, man.
I just want to point out, like, I watched the interview with Matt Booty on the whole thing, and when it comes to Gears, Forza, and Halo, the main staples of basically our tent poles on Xbox, they have a heavy multiplayer influence, and that multiplayer influence is backed up by Xbox Live. Mm-hmm. So that is where I have to agree with K Mega. Is I could see single player games going over to PlayStation and other consoles left and right, but anything that requires the support of the Xbox Live network, they're probably not going to allow Xbox Live on their platforms, because that's one, like, because if you look at Fortnite, they run their own servers and they make it to where their servers are able to function on all platforms. Mm-hmm. Xbox Live is Xbox Live, and I don't think PlayStation is going to be totally down with the idea of trying to figure out a way to get Xbox Live to work on their platform.
Okay,
Right.
That's
yeah.
a good point.
That's he said it a lot better than I did. I mean, but he understood my point. Like it's just that right there is like it's just malarkey. Like they keep saying, oh well, they're gonna go third party. They might throw some games out there to the public and let them get it, so they can get them some extra bread over it and keep the studios open. That makes sense.
That's third party.
But
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
But you're talking about that Xbox itself is going to turn into Sega. That's not going to happen.
Yo,
I
got one liner, K Mega. Okay, at what point in the industry does revenue outweigh what you actually put out?
Say it again. Say it again.
At what point does revenue actually weigh over what you put out?
I mean, Xbox is doing really well, though. That's the problem. Like okay. Best scenario to counteract any of these people that come out and they have this thought process, right, about Xbox is going to turn into Sega. Nintendo, the Wii U, everyone, even I've said it on Next, I said it on every place that I was like, man, look, Nintendo is in trouble. Everybody else was saying Nintendo was in trouble. Nintendo was going to, most likely, the best thing for them is to go third party. The Wii U is dead. It was the worst selling console that they've ever had. They had no support from from third party, nothing. Everybody was confused because they didn't know if the Wii U was connected to the Wii, whatever. But the point of the matter was, look at what people are talking about now. Nintendo's kicking ass in MPDs, and nobody's talking about the Wii U era. It's just one generation for Xbox that's had a down generation.
Mega, another thing that like I don't think people realize is like Xbox is a platform holder. All right, when it comes down to it, they are making money on their platform. What happened with Sega was they started losing money, and they thought the best thing that they could do was go multi-plat with their franchises and stuff like that. If you're a platform holder, going third-party multi-plat is a demotion because you have no more control in the platform that you're putting your games on.
Right, and that means that they would have to get rid of they would never try. Like, what would be the purpose of having xCloud? What would be the purpose of even? They would never make a console that they might be wanting to try to get away from that. I think eventually all of them is going to try to get away from that here in the future. But in the sense of things, like, why would people even? Like you said, it's a demotion. It financially doesn't make any sense.
Why would PlayStation buy into Zura unless they needed to do something with their cloud-based gaming?
Oh, that's exactly right. Yo, when it came down to Microsoft as a company and Sony as a company coming together and exploring using the Azure platform, we all know that's going back into gaming right there. And that's something that I've tried to tell people like 100 times on multiple shows that I'm on, is because, you know, they're going in and talking about xCloud. And I was like, with Sony marketing, we've seen it time and time again. Sony will market something until they're ready to market something else, and then they'll completely shit on that first thing. We saw it with indies this generation. They were hyping up indies. They were giving No Man's Sky like the center stage and everything like that because their first party was not ready. So with that being said, as soon as their first party was ready, they're like, you know what? Fuck you, indies. We're out of here. You know what I'm saying?
And just think about how the difference of a generation is, right? I mean, out of these 5 years, we go back to the PlayStation 3 era. PlayStation was in trouble, Jack. But when we first started getting into the PlayStation 4 era, they had so many problems. They had layoffs. They were talking about somebody that other people was trying to buy them out. Xbox was trying to buy Sony out like twice back from when the OG Xbox came out, and then during the 360 era. PlayStation, that, you know, I'm looking at what Chris Hart's posted, like, man, they know how to make things, they know to do things, you know, accurately and precise. They play chess. Did they play chess when they offered a $600 console and try to spend that?
That's way back, man. That's way back.
But no, that's not way back there. That's just last gen. That's the point that I'm trying to say.
Last gen was the longest generation we have ever went through. Yeah,
that's fine. But the point of the matter is that was last gen. Just like with the Nintendo, last gen. things
Mega's
change.
point is that you can
Yeah.
always bounce back.
They can always bounce
that's
back.
Mega's
This is just
point.
a down. This is just a down generation for Xbox. But the crazy thing about this, other than what Nintendo survived it because Nintendo got long money. Sega couldn't survive because they didn't have long money like that. And they was going against Sony and it was going against Nintendo, who actually were, had long money, and Sega just didn't have the money like that. So they just conceded after the Dreamcast. But you're talking about Microsoft, who has more money than Nintendo. You think that they would just give it up if they're making profits? This is the first time I think ever in gaming history where you have a company that's had a down year console sales, but they still still hit record profits because of what they do with the multiplayer space with their games. I mean, so yeah, only thing they got to do is do. Everybody knows what they got to do. I'm not going through the whole spiel of that. But but to think that just because they're gonna go third party, just because they had a down generation is foolish. It's not happening. That's just, what I'm saying? That it's just not, especially. And then when we come back next gen and then Xbox is doing really well, then what's people going to say then? What's going to be the next thing? Who's going to be the one out of the three that's going to be looking rough? And then, I'm kind of worried about this one. That's just stupid, man. These companies know what they do. They just got to bounce back. That's all.
All right, man. All right. I see all that. Well, guys, check this out. Because Centurion, like I said, he is a part of another show that comes on, our brother show, the Shot Podcast, right? So he's going to be leaving a little bit early. So I wanted to tackle kind of like our what I considered like the big topic in our topics kind of like list for tonight's show. And it's something that I will point out to the chat. First off, huge shout out to everybody checking out the show. Thank you guys so much for showing support for Next Podcast each and every Saturday. I truly do appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to let you know that this topic will probably not be talked about by any other show out there. This is, I will consider this a Next Podcast exclusive. And I think it's going to get interesting, all right? What I want to talk about is YouTube. YouTube throughout this generation. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because in 2013, when these consoles came out, they came out with these features that we've never seen in console before, where you can record your gameplay, you can add voiceover, you can add transitions, everything like that. You can make your own YouTube videos on your console and then upload it straight to YouTube. Now, with that being said, that started in 2013, right? Everybody who has picked up an Xbox One or a PS4 has had the availability to be a voice on YouTube. I want to ask the panel, and I'm going to start with our special guest because I really want to hear what he has to say on this one. When it comes down to it, what do you think, Centurion, that has been kind of like the effect of everybody being able to have a voice on YouTube? Do you think that it has been positive? Do you think that YouTube has gotten watered down at all in terms of content? What do you think the effects are now that this new feature that I got hyped up about, it was one of the main reasons why I started a channel. It was just easy to do. All right. It was like, I heard all this information that people were putting out there, all this Xbox hate that I didn't think was warranted back in 2013. And I'm like, you know what? I can actually make videos and put them on YouTube and try to let people know exactly what's going on. And it was easy. What do you think the effects of this are now? It being 2019, 6 years later, man. What has happened because of this?
Oh gosh, how long do we got? No,
it's a pretty big question, right? But you gotta admit,
it's
an interesting topic, though, if you think about it, man.
Well, who thought in a million years that people would want to sit down and watch people play video games in the first place? I remember when I was a kid and I figured out how to use a VCR to record gameplay. So, people thought that was silly. Now flash forward to today and it's big business. But that being said, is when people get into this, they need to realize that they're not going to be an overnight success. There's a grind. It's definitely like having a second job. And at the same time, you got to remember that there's going to be people out there that have a different opinion as you, or definitely don't see the same way as you, and you need to be respectful of that. I think that's where a lot of the toxicity has come in, is because people can't seem to handle when other people have a difference of opinion. But it is good to see, though, like it's given rise to another culture. You know, God, it's bringing people together. We're having conversations right now. We're debating things. I get like, God, I could go on all day, but it's definitely, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time.
Okay.
But but to point out, YouTube isn't exactly making it any easier on people at the same time.
It was easier in the beginning, man, but they've been doing some crazy stuff in the background.
They've been taking away Hangouts or redirecting them. Like PTK, he had to take a 2-week reprieve because he had to learn how to use OBS and relearn how to use the new Hangouts. And so, you know, we haven't done a show in 2 weeks. Tonight's actually the first show he's going to be doing in 2 weeks.
Nice.
On top of that, they're getting very restrictive in their content. You know, if you use the wrong song or by something like, look at the Spider-Man reviews.
They actually changed their policy, Centurion. They actually just change it
for the music.
Yeah.
Really? Because I got flagged twice.
Yeah. Supposedly the monetization of flagging no longer exists.
Huh.
So basically, they can still try to ban your video, but they don't gain any revenue from it at all. Like, not one bit. Like, YouTube has changed a lot of shit, but that was probably the biggest thing I've heard people complain about. And it's very, you know, restrictive. Like, if you play the whole song, you probably get fucked. But in the end, it's at least a step forward. I mean, at least they're not gaining.
But yeah, like, you know, everybody gives crap to Xbox about, you know, oh, they need to learn how to communicate with their fans better and they need to have a better message. That could also be said about YouTube, because they don't communicate whatsoever unless you're one of the upper epsilon.
Yeah, they don't
on
talk
YouTube.
to you unless you have millions of subs.
Yeah, and not only that, but let's you know, okay, so they're backing off on the use of music a little bit, but let's look at what happened to some YouTubers that kind of didn't give out that, you know, Spider-Man is God's gift to the Marvel universe on the PS4. There was a couple reviewers out there that said that the game was okay, but they had some qualms, and they actually got flagged. I remember a couple YouTubers actually had to shut down their channels while they waited for their strikes to come off their channel, because they didn't want to lose their channel. So that's what I mean. Like, they have their algorithm and the way they do things. You never know from 1 minute to the next if you're doing something that's going to get you in trouble or if you're doing something perfectly fine. You just don't really know. You always tread with caution when it comes to YouTube and creating content.
You know, I got you, brother. And of course, you know, me and you, K Mega, Knoxximus as well, we deal with that side of YouTube. But in terms of everybody getting a voice here, do you think like Sony and Microsoft or Xbox and PlayStation, when they came out with these consoles, because we know, I don't think Nintendo is doing anything like that with their world's most powerful handheld, right? I don't think they're doing anything like that there. But do you think that they anticipated the amount of people who, you know, started streaming to Twitch, started streaming to YouTube, putting videos out and stuff like that? And do you think, like, at the end of the day, it's been more positive or negative? Like I said, 6 years later, man, we can look in hindsight and it'll be 2020, man. What do you think?
Talking to me?
Centurion. Centurion.
Oh, I thought you were asking one of the other guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hindsight in the future. How about one thing I was thinking about is they want to promote Stadia. They are going to have a feature where you basically play live on Stadia on YouTube. We already see how Microsoft and Google do not get along when it comes to the integration of the two services on their networks. You know, like the YouTube app was completely falling apart on Xbox, and Xbox had to go in and fix a few things just to fix it because YouTube didn't want to do anything because they don't really get along.
Yeah,
PlayStation right now, they actually get along with YouTube, but we already see what's going on now with the Hangout situation on how YouTube or Google, whoever you want to say is in control, has no problem in clipping a service in a second without warning. Everybody thought this whole Hangouts thing was going to happen next year. All of a sudden, hey, August 1st comes around and they decided to kind of shoot the trigger early. Now, what if they decide to do that with the way we stream games right now from our consoles to YouTube? What if that's something that they want to lock down to Stadia?
That is a great point, brother. Oh, man, that is awesome. Yeah, we will get K Mega into this conversation. You heard what Centurion said. Now, I do want to hear what you think about in terms of the effects of having so many people be able to make YouTube videos, like, you know, 6-year span throughout this generation, and kind of like what the effects have been on YouTube and in the gaming community. But you heard Centurion right there on like them possibly locking down streaming and stuff like that to their own Stadia. What do you think about that, brother?
No, I think he hit it right. No, because I was going to say something similar to that.
He beat you to it, bro. He beat you to it.
No, he beat me to it. But no,
damn, I didn't even think about that. Like, yo, Centurion, you got me thinking right now. Damn.
This is the thing, right? Because everybody is already anticipating Stadia to fail. For them making these moves right now, I think that it's one of those things that's going to be, look, we know that we're going to have a hard time with this. So what we want to do is to make sure that we can have longevity with Stadia and just go through the rough patches before everybody starts coming on. And then what's the best way is to start weeding down on some of these content creators. And it's not just with gamers, it's with somebody that may want to just show their dogs or whatever, you know, because I think where it's going to come back to is people going to have to start doing it for the love. Or they might even go as far as like maybe reaching a higher plateau. Like you have to go past 1,000 subs in order to become, to get ad revenue. I think that they're going to try to weed out as much as they can. Taking away the Hangouts hurt a lot of people. And that to me is one of those things where they're definitely doing this for a reason. And I think it's because of Stadia. I think they want that to be the ultimate place to where people can play that service, and they want to utilize YouTube because they have so many people doing it, you know, on it, that's where they can get their clicks, their views, and then you'll have they'll have deals and stuff. You'll start seeing people like not Ninja, but some of these other streamers and stuff. They'll be doing negotiations and deals and trying to hype up Stadia to get people on board, man. I mean, it's a crazy dynamic what's going on. I mean, there's going to be a lot of big changes.
They'll bring back that YouTube gaming shit.
I don't know.
Call it and just make it like a Stadia only thing.
I think they're just going to call it YouTube and have it go as that. Now, one thing, yo, Mega, I am going to
live streaming though from the Stadia console and stream to that shit. Well, kind of like Xbox does with Mixer. You know
I think we're mixing two things together here. Yo, streaming and then videos and podcasts. Like, when it comes down to it, Mega, I hear what you're saying, and I agree in terms of, you know, when Centurion brought it up, and you're kind of like filling it out as well, that they could possibly, when it comes to game streaming, with all the interconnectivity with Stadia, having like people who are watching your streams kind of wait in line to get in on the game that you're playing, as long as you're playing it on Stadia and stuff like that, I can definitely see them trying to funnel people into just Stadia with YouTube. The one thing I disagree on is the whole change to Hangouts, because when it comes down to it, people were using Hangouts as a podcast, not necessarily for streaming or anything like that. So,
well, I mean, this is just, I think, like they might have package deals to where they give people to where you can pay for Hangouts in the future. So I think that they're going to try to find ways to make money off of the content creators in some way, shape, or form. I really do. I think that that's where they're going.
Besides making money off their content, like
exactly, because from what I'm understanding is that they're I could be wrong. I could be having confused with somebody else, but aren't they going to be trying to get studios to make exclusive content themselves as well?
It's been kind of like floated out there. There's nothing
Right.
that's necessarily been announced yet. Our brother Mooch, shout out to Mooch again, thinks that they're just gonna buy exclusive deals from like multiplats and have
Right, but they're
games.
going to have to, yeah. But again, I mean, we know that Google has so much money, but they don't. But look, they've earned all this money in certain ways. They ain't going to just hemorrhage money just to get studios right off the bat and then not try to recoup any type of money back. I think that they're going to try to start hitting people over the head a little bit, a little nick here, a little nick there. And like I said, I think the ultimate goal is to weed out as many of the unnecessary people, that's the content creators, that they possibly can.
They're going to make it hard, it harder. So this way, you know, when it comes down to it, if you have to invest in what you want to do, you're going to take it more seriously than if you can just like pop on a hangout and just like pop off at the mouth no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, I can see them looking at it like that as well.
Right, like this person, More Cloud Tech USA. He's like, YouTube is the biggest weapon for Stadia. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Is basically that right there has a lot of power. They can push a lot of things going through there, and they have full control. They could every time that there's a content creator that's doing something, they could pop that Stadia game or that streamer out there. For every content creator that's out there doing something, and that boom, you see that, and you keep seeing it enough, you're going to eventually going to bite. You know, it's going to be, it might take a while for some. It might be people that are like, damn, you know what, this might be pretty cool. Let me go ahead and at least try it for this $15 for this month just to see what's going on. And the next thing you know, you might be hooked. They might have a lot of enticing things to get you pulled in, all this. But regardless of it, I just think that their ultimate goal is to weed out to them is the unnecessary content creators, which I think is bullshit. Well, that's why they doing the things what they're doing by flagging channels the way that they are, by taking out hangouts, just all different types of things. And I think, like I said, they're going to try to nickel and dime people in the process.
All right, I got you, brother. Now, what do you think about everybody getting a voice this generation when it comes to their console? You know, and like, because when we first started talking, I you know me, I don't hold anything back. I told you, like, I did all my stuff in Upload Studio. I did my voiceover, everything like that. The only thing I did different was I made my thumbnails on my computer and put them on after my videos were already uploaded. What do you think is the effect of having these consoles, like, and just the ease of use to be able to put out onto YouTube and even the stream? You know, with Xbox you could stream to Twitch, or now you could stream the Mixer as well. But it wasn't a big thing the beginning of this generation. But and you know, with PlayStation, the PS4, you can stream to YouTube as well as Twitch. Like, what do you think was the effect of everybody being able to do so, man?
I think that they weren't. I don't think anybody knew that this was going to blow up like it did.
And I don't think so either, dude.
I don't think anybody knew that this was going to blow up the way that it did, and it's crazy because everybody wants to be a part. Everybody wants to be a part or be noticed. Like, it's crazy how society has turned for. You know, they're willing to try to get that 15 minutes of fame, and even if that means making themselves look like fools on occasion. But you know what I'm saying? But people just, they want to be noticed, they want to be liked, they want to be heard, and it's blown up to something that's just crazy, that it's its own phenomenon, and that like Centurion said, like, this is its own like little society here. This isn't ever going away. There's always going to be a platform that's going to be out there to take in if YouTube tries to eventually try to shut everything down, which that would be stupid on their part to try to shut everything down. But it's here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere. And especially the consoles themselves have to evolve and make things happen. Nintendo's a little slow of getting it, but they're going to eventually do it. And PlayStation and Xbox is already there.
By
PC, I think you
Nintendo
could say it's already
standards, you'll see them do it like 15 years from now, man. Like
I mean,
seriously.
yeah, like I mean, when they come up with another system, it'll probably have the stuff that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One has. You know what I'm saying? But that's great for them. But
it works for them, man.
Yeah, it works for them. But it's because and they take their time to regulate it and things like that. It's here to stay. Everybody's going to do things the way that they want to with it, but I think everybody loves the fact that they can be watched by people playing games and interact with people that may like those certain games that other people may not know about, and it's a wonderful thing, man. I think it's just taking gaming to a whole nother level. Back when I started first playing games, I could have never imagined gaming going got this big, and it's everything. It's just part of the culture now. That's it. It's crazy.
You know, I'm listening to hear. There's something that I'm anxious to hear if the panel and our special guest will come out and say it. So I'm gonna move on to the next panel member, but I'm listening for a couple like key things here while we're talking about it. And if nobody touches on it, I'll bring it up after we talk to everybody. Okay. Knox, what do you think, brother? When it comes to the PS4, the Xbox One, I know you have both of them. I can almost guarantee you probably picked them up day one as well, right? Knox.
Yeah, I picked both of them up day one, of course.
What did you think about the feature to be able, first off, with Upload Studio and Share Factory, be able to make videos and put them onto YouTube without having, to use an Elgato or anything like that. Basically, everything that you needed was under the hood of your console. And then what do you think it is meant to like YouTube and the gaming community to have so many people be able to have a voice on a website as big as YouTube, man?
No, yeah, man, that was big for gaming itself, bro. Just to help it, be even bigger than it is, bro. There's $135 billion fucking industry, dude. This is more than sports, movies, and all that shit combined, bro. In gaming, you don't think that helped the culture to grow? Being able to just put a little picture of yourself there while you're playing a game and stream it up to YouTube and get things like this started. Now that that was all part of the evolution, right? To lead to where we are today. Back then, when it first dropped, I wasn't into any of that. So I thought it was pretty dope that you could make like, little video edits and shit like that. I remember I was playing Killer Instinct and editing my first video and shit, put it together. I thought that was pretty dope, but nothing further. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really concerned with uploading it to YouTube or anything like that, or taking advantage of that functionality, but that it was there and part of these consoles, that shit was big. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And yeah, if you asked before if I think it's good overall or bad overall, I would have to say it's been good for it overall, bro. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Now why do you say good over bad? Because like, when it comes down to it, man, and like I'm itching to say it, but we got one more panel member to go through. But why do you say it's been, more good than bad overall?
Yeah, I mean, what it has contributed to gaming and the popularity of the gaming space has just been good overall. Yeah, you're always gonna get your bad apples, you know what I'm saying? But it ultimately it doesn't spoil the bunch in this case, in my opinion, anyway. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, that's how I feel about that. As far as as far as what that meant, having that feature in these consoles, to be able to stream and not
Dude,
have to.
I was so excited picking up my Xbox One because like at that point in time I was working at GameStop. I was catching a lot of shit from my my manager because I was selling both the Xbox One and the PS4. In my manager's mind, I should have been only selling the PS4. It was a crazy time in my life. Like I thought, when it comes down to it, you're in retail, you sell everything that you have to offer in the store. but I was literally getting like my ass handed to me because I was selling Xbox Ones as well, and I could not wait to get out there and kind of like have a voice out there and share what the research that I've been doing on certain things when it came to the consoles, when it came to Xbox One and PS4 and all that good stuff. And yeah, dude, like basically by 2014 I was on YouTube making videos, man, and I absolutely love it. It's a part of my life now, no matter what. That's why I tell people all the time, whether I have 1 subscriber or over 1 million subscribers, like, this is who I am no matter what. Like, I don't do things for clicks and all that good stuff. I give you guys my honest opinion, whether you think they're correct, whether you think they're you know, they're full of shit or whatnot. And this is a part of my life now. I absolutely love doing this. But let's go to Crispy on this. Crispy, you've heard everybody else so far, and I want to hear what you think, brother. I know you've been hold on. Shout out to Lucifer for hitting up that super chat, and I am really excited to read this, man, because I have not said it yet tonight. Showing support, showing love for the channel, and to read it in the proper way. Oh, no, I'm gonna read it my way. Battletoads! I'm not saying it the other way, brother. I am sorry, man. If I have to give you your $2 back, I will. I swear. But Crispy, what do you think about everybody from the start, from 2013? It was so easy to make videos, just strictly upload them through your console to YouTube, and even streaming and stuff like that. Every single person who bought into this generation has had a voice on a social media like YouTube. What do you think the effect has been over the past 6 years? How has it evolved? Like, what have we come to with everybody, having that ability to voice their opinion out there on YouTube, man?
Let's be serious. The only reason why this even happened, that Google has basically shut down itself, for especially like podcasters like ourselves, you know what I mean, is because they are in competition now, and that's what they care about. The streaming service, but as far as Twitch, Mixer, everything else, is already a multi-billion-dollar industry. And we're going to sit here and act like Google doesn't see that. And I'm going to tell you right now, something's going to happen with Sony real soon, because they went with Azura rather than what Google's going to put out. And Google's not happy. Google is one of the most ruthless companies I've ever seen.
True. That is true.
Okay? They are so ruthless that they will literally put out bugs, and they probably have their own people hack that shit so they could mess with people that are using other services that aren't theirs.
Oh, damn.
I mean, we are at the point where, y'all remember when Facebook was great and it was the greatest thing in the world? Everybody? Okay? Yeah. Google as a company is quite surpassing Facebook. The only companies in front of them are Apple, Amazon, and fucking Microsoft. And what do you think they're trying to do? Take all of them. And you know what? We all sit here and say, oh, well, everybody's going to be kumbaya. No, they're not. All right. And I'm going to tell you right now, Google fucks over the people that make content for them. It fucks over anybody that's in the way of their fucking money. And that's the facts.
Wow, man. Yo, Crispy, I'm realizing something with Crispy, man. He gives 0 Fs about what's going on, and definitely shares his opinion. And wow, man, he even said Google might pop in bugs and hack people who aren't using their platform. And you know what? I'm not going to agree, but I'm also not going to disagree either. Yo, freaking awesome. Now, getting to what I was listening to you guys, one thing I didn't hear, and I'm interested, anybody can chime in on this. Well, first off, let me hit up Sir X-Man. Hitting up that super chat one more time, brother. He said MySpace was great too. In my opinion, MySpace was better than Facebook. All right, because I
agree.
I got to customize it to make
Totally
it
agree.
look the way I wanted it to look, showing my
With the
personality.
music, yeah.
Yeah, you had the
right.
music list, the music player. You can change like the whole look of your page and make it your own. I was like, why are people moving off of this for Facebook, which looked like a blank ditto sheet with stuff typed on it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. No, it was one of those things. I didn't jump off of MySpace until it was shutting down.
Yeah.
Some of the things that you could do, like when they started like stopping people from loading the music and stuff like that in there, I was like, so I was like, I got no choice. It took a while for me to get to Facebook.
Dude, I was so reluctant, and you know what happened? My entire family, including my family in upstate New York and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, no, we'll talk on Facebook. We'll talk on, and I was so resistant, and finally I'm like, you know what? Let me do it. And that was it from there. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Because Facebook was casual. That's why it beat MySpace.
Thank you, Knox. Thank you.
Yes, that's a great point.
It was so easy to fucking, do everything.
I loved MySpace. I thought MySpace was fucking dope. But yeah, it was just easy. It was that's it. Plain.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
MySpace, Facebook was ugly as fucking sin, man.
MySpace provided you with like almost like you're gonna program your page to what you want.
Yeah, you had to do
and
embeds.
They made it so easy though. They really did. You could copy and paste and do all kinds of stupid shit that would all of a sudden make your page your page. And they were so far ahead of their time that they fucked themselves right in the ass.
Yo, Sir X-Man hit up that super chat. And I love what he wrote here. He goes, I didn't mean to change the topic. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man. Yo, thank you so much. And yo, huge shout out to the Matrix Gamer who is in the chat as well. If you don't know, he was the guy working with Mooch to get the overlay and kind of like Crossfire working last night. It was absolutely awesome. Yo, Matrix, thank you for talking about the look of the show. I definitely appreciate it. You know, it's been an evolution through a couple years or whatnot. If you have any tips or anything like that for me, we do follow each other on Twitter. I am open to hear any kind of suggestions or anything like that moving forward on the show, and anything I can do to make it even better. But guys, on that note, I know our special guest has to leave soon. All right, so I'm gonna pull another topic. I'm just pulling it up real quick. I don't know if we should go into Gamescom yet. You guys want to talk about Gamescom and kind of predict what we might see in a couple days?
If you want. I don't care.
You don't care. He don't care. No. So we're gonna do that. You know, Gamescom is in a couple days. I am gonna try to put together, a couple people to stream with when it comes to the Inside Xbox and the opening night. So stay tuned for that on this channel. Hopefully, I could get some people to hang out with me. I don't necessarily want to do it alone. I'm scared to be alone, guys. But it's going to be interesting. We have Xbox talking about they have game announcements and they have things to talk about when it comes to Gamescom. PlayStation, Sony as well, said that they have stuff that they would like to talk about, stuff that they would like to show as well. Usually when it comes to Gamescom, I don't think of it as E3. I think of it as kind of like a lower tier in terms of what these companies are gonna show. But K-Mega, when it comes down to it, first off, are you excited for Gamescom? And then what do you think that you're gonna see? What are you like most hyped that you think you're gonna see in a couple days at this conference, man?
Anytime that there's a conference, I'm willing to check it out. It doesn't matter which one it is. I just like knowing getting information about video games. So that's always a positive. But it's going to be pretty. I don't know, man. We'll definitely see. I think we'll finally get to see Bleeding Edge, the gameplay, instead of people seeing it behind closed doors. I think that they'll actually show some gameplay for the public. We'll see more stuff about Gears, of course. Get more about the single player. I don't know, man. This is just one of them things where it's like it's really difficult. I hope that we see something from Greedfall. That's a game that I've been had on the radar ever since I seen the trailer for it, and I hope that they definitely show more.
Well,
at least
Mega,
have.
I can give you a chance to think about it a little bit more because one of your biggest fans has hit the super chat, and I say that because he always talks about your gameplay as being better than mine on the show. But yeah, yo, Lucifer hitting up that super chat, and he has a question that that could definitely be interesting here. Like he asked, what do we think of the new Ori game going to Switch as well? Now, I will say first off, it doesn't matter to me. First and foremost, I know I've been waiting to play it on Xbox, and when it comes down to, again, the world's most powerful handheld, I have no problem with games like that going there, going to PS4, anything like that. And it's something that I think Matt Booty has said in the interview as well. The smaller games can go pretty much wherever they want to go. But K-Mega, share your thoughts on that, man.
No, I'm with them. I'm the same way. I'm like, look, if the only way that I would be upset with this whole new energy that people are talking about with Xbox and their games is if Xbox decide that they don't want to make a console anymore and not have a backup plan. That would get me upset. Or if they started pushing the bigger titles, the known titles, and for whatever that they're going to be doing in the future, that are games that would definitely be staples for any console to go to other places. Other than that, these small titles, I'm not tripping on it. Like, I mean, I think it's good for them because it's like Minecraft. Minecraft it was already a multi-plat, but it was smart for them to keep it multi-plat. Yeah, they could have had a lot more people come to the Xbox just for that. But again, would it still produce the numbers that it's doing right now? And I just don't see that, and especially with putting that $2 billion into it. So, and then like you got a game like Ori, you got Cuphead, you got those type of games. You know, I can't think of any like Battletoads, any of those games. People can talk all the trash they want to and say, oh, well, you know, Xbox has no exclusives. But if you're buying those games and playing them, Xbox is one. You're not only helping the cause for Xbox to keep bringing those games, keep making those games, but you're keeping the lights on for those studios. So I think it's a win-win. And
we are going to get more games from Xbox Game Studios because of their approach. And their approach is get the game in people's hands, and that's all they care about. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah,
they care about and I'm gonna tell you something right now. Yes, it will make them more money. I mean, Minecraft is a phenomenon. Okay, Fortnite is still trying to catch it. Okay, I mean, we can sit here and say whatever you want. But when Microsoft spent almost $1 billion to buy that fucking goddamn franchise, and we can sit here and say, oh, that's irrelevant. Well, guess what? They've already made their money tenfold.
Yeah, they made their money though. Yeah. So like that's the thing to me, like the smaller titles, like, okay, let's say for instance, like Hellblade, right? Mm-hmm. They're definitely, Ninja Theory is definitely going to be making another type of game that's going to look on that level of Hellblade. Now like if a game like that goes over to the PlayStation and to the Switch and things like that, and if they in this game isn't, because Hellblade really isn't a AAA game, it looks absolutely fantastic, but then you'll have this narrative where people are saying, see, it's a AAA going when it really actually isn't. I don't know. That's one of them catch-22s. It's still a smaller title.
It's a right below AAA. You know what I mean? Like it's a very low.
No. It's
Hellblade. We could sit here and talk about it, but Hellblade thought out visuals and audio. because people will talk about the audio all the time on that game in particular, bro.
Yeah,
you know,
they literally said it's AAA style, but a AA budget.
Yeah.
Is basically what that game is.
It's a very well done AA game.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it wasn't a AAA. It just looked absolutely fantastic. But it just. But that's the thing. Like those type of games will be the ones. I don't like Ori and them. They're not going to get. They'll get those ones. Those crazy fanatics. They'll go crazy. But when you got a game like that going over to a PlayStation and to the Switch, then that's what's going to have the narrative. That's what's going to make the narrative worse, per se. But if it's not a AAA game, I'm not tripping. Like Outer Worlds, if Outer Worlds 2 comes and that game blows up, and then they're doing that, and they decide that they want to keep that a multiplayer. They covered
their tracks on that. They're like, if it blows up, we're keeping the sequel.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Keep the sequel. You want to have the
hypothetically, okay? Outer Worlds sells 30 million copies between all of them.
It's not going.
Okay.
It's not going.
And you make. I'm just saying, dude, because when I see Outer Worlds, I see a space age New Vegas. And I'm going to tell you right now, Fallout universe, New Vegas is one of the best. You could literally, go down to your ammunition and freaking customize that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that.
Yo,
that
Crispy,
is a
Crispy,
great
hold that
game.
thought. Hold that thought real quick. I just got to pay the bills real quick. Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. He says, it's all about Blair Witch for me. Yo, brother, I am really interested to see what that game is all about. I am down to play that. I know it's going to be in Game Pass. And Lucifer hitting up that super chat again. Oh my goodness. Mega, do I have to read this, man?
Oh yeah, you have to read it.
K-Mega videos are greater than Xbot videos.
Yes.
K-Mega rules. I'm next. Anyway, dude, Lou, why do you gotta do that to me, brother? Yeah, I thought we were cool. And Sir X-Man hit up the super chat again. Damn, Sir X-Man, showing love, showing support for the channel and the show. Hellblade 2 will become a AAA because of the first one.
I could definitely see that, because I don't know how many people beat it, but
yo, can you imagine how much faster they can develop the game having kind of like Microsoft's wallet behind them and just keep it kind of like that AA, but with the AAA quality, kind of like visuals and stuff like that. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. Like, you can have a smaller team working on it and keep on going like that.
I would want more. I would want more. I would want more.
But you were happy with the first one. Why? Like,
the first one was phenomenal. But if you're going to take it, but you want that game to be taken to the next level, because the combat was the weakest link in that game, and of course, like, there was some other things that you could tell that it was kind of AA, but yeah, you want to see them take it to the next level. The combat, the some situations that they had,
the whole thing, bro. The visuals, just that landscape, open it up, make the controls tighter, the jump better. I could see so much potential in that, bro, to be like a super duper AAA. Now, my thing is, what happens if they make such a game, right? Something that we would love for Ninja Theory to do, but it goes multi-plat.
Then that's a legitimate reason for Xbox fans to be upset and to maybe worry, because that right there is where that's what I was saying. Like, if they did, like, that's what I was trying to say. The scenario with Hellblade, like, visually it would have people saying, "Oh, look at that, that's one of your AAAs," but it's not a AAA. But if they do make Hellblade 2 a AAA, and then they decided they want to pass it on, then that's when I wouldn't be happy about that.
Okay. But
that's a scenario that I wouldn't be happy with. Like, come on.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I want to freeze this topic 1 second. Yo, Centurion.
Yo,
brother. I don't know when it's about that time. All right, brother. Well, dude, thank you for being on the show. For people who don't know, our special guest, he is on another show called The Shot Podcast, which goes on tonight. And, he's got to go in and get ready for his show as well, where he is a weekly panel member. So, Centurion, again, it was great having you on. we definitely got to do it again sometime. I want to hear more of your opinions, stuff like that. Maybe we can also do a show on a different day or something like that to really get you on the channel and having the subs over here really hear kind of like your thoughts and opinions on gaming. But it is your time, like a 40-year-old with a comb over. It is time for you to get your plugs in. So I need you to share your YouTube channel, of course, being on the multiple podcasts that you're on, and you got to let people know where they can go to talk games with you. And guys, I want to let you know, you need to follow this guy. I am absolutely entertained by his channel. You need to talk to him on the social media where he talks games. Why don't you let him know where that is, man?
Well, again, thanks for having me here. It's been an awesome time talking games with you guys. I'm always down to talk games. Hit me up whenever.
Nice.
Definitely whenever I don't have a show going on or if I'm stuck at work, I'm always down to do a podcast. For those who do want to follow me, I'm on YouTube and Twitter at Centurion1307. And I also do operate my own website called legionofgamer.com. I put a lot of content there. There's actually links to like the Saltiest Gaming podcast and PTK's podcast. Nice. And some other YouTube content creators that I've worked with. But yeah, again, it's been really great being here, guys. Like you said earlier in the show, I'm on Salty's podcast on Thursdays. I'm also on PTK's The Shot podcast on Saturdays. It actually starts here in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it's all good. We're still trying to figure out the whole Google Hangouts thing, so this will be the first podcast we'll be doing with that. So sorry if it comes a little rough around the edges. But yeah, we're definitely ironing out all the kinks right now.
Nice.
But again, thank you again for having me here, Xbot.
No problem, Centurion. And just to let you know, send me a link to your website in a Twitter DM, and I will put it in the description below. Because again, dude, I have been thoroughly entertained by your videos. It is great to see, another gamer out there looking at everything that's going on with common sense in kind of like in tow as well. You know what I'm saying? Because people have been going kind of crazy lately on social media and other YouTube kind of like gaming channels and stuff. And it is great to see somebody else who kind of takes that more kind of like, even-keeled approach when it comes to the gaming news, man.
I really appreciate that, man. Really.
Nice. Now go do what you got to do.
It was nice meeting you all, and thank you for having me here.
Me and the panel are going to just argue with each other for a little while longer. Yeah. All
you
right.
guys have yourselves a good one.
No doubt, brother.
One,
tell PTK we said what up.
Yep.
I will, man.
Nice.
Later, guys.
Peace, man.
All right. On that note, what were we talking about again? Am I too long-winded? I don't know.
The next topic. The next topic. That's what you're talking about.
All right. Well, yeah. No, we're getting into Gamescom and the predictions, and shout out to Sir X and Lucifer for helping us veer to the left a little bit when it comes down to it. Yeah. No, we got to get everybody else. Knox, what do you think about a game like Ori 2 possibly going to the Switch, man? Would that kind of like tick you off at all?
You know me, man. If it's a reason to come and have people enjoy your console, if it's the content that people crave, you keep that shit, you hold that shit to your chest. You know what I'm saying? Them putting it out there. Go ahead and do you, bro. That's not the direction that I want to see them go in. I've made that clear. It is still right now probably the platform I play on the most, because I'm being asked that in the chat as well. It's probably my Xbox. Like I said, it's a 55-45, so there isn't a huge disparity between which one I enjoy between PS4 and Xbox One. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it is 55-45, Xbox being the 55. You know what I'm saying? I play Destiny a lot there, and that's the game I play the most. You know what I mean? Just like Destiny 1 was the mostly played on my PS4.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I don't dig it. Like little bullshit, I don't care. Like them Ryguard, you know what I mean? Like what is that shit?
Right.
Yeah, it's not Ryguard, because Ryguard was actually a dope ass.
I was thinking Ryguard.
But like the little the bullshit arcade games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
were you trying to yell out Battletoads, man?
No. Battletoads.
Oh no.
Yeah. No. you know, something like, but something like Ori, even Cuphead going to the Switch, to me, I was like, I'm gonna do like, why? Or if you at least want to do that, man, make it like a year or so time to something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know, I don't like it, but I'm never gonna be.
I think Cuphead and what happened with the popularity with Cuphead going to the Switch, and that was a delayed release as well, and it still did really well with like Switch gamers and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, a little bit of a delay before it goes somewhere. I don't think it would hurt. I'm not sure if that. I don't think they'll do that necessarily, but yeah, I don't know. To me, it doesn't matter either way. But I can see where Knox is coming from with a little kind of like timed exclusivity going on, to have it be kind of like the only place to play. Yo, what up?
No, I was gonna say, because you already know how I feel about the whole thing, man. If you need to give people that reason to come and get the console, because I don't want the consoles to go away. That's the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? I feel eventually they will go away if you could start getting the content.
So you're worried about that, man? Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That is something I've been trying to tell people. I know me and K Mega have been trying to tell people for a long time. Like, these companies, like they would love to go in that direction. You know what I'm saying? And K Mega, you agree? Like, we were told that we were absolutely like that was preposterous, and there's no way that's ever going to happen. And I'm being nice with the word preposterous, by the way. Like,
you are.
They've been saying, and now, Mega, look at like the concern going on with people and everything. Man, if only they kind of like heeded our warnings to begin with.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the thing is that it doesn't need to be the case, though. You know what I'm saying? Unless they want to save money, and thus saving money by not manufacturing consoles anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that it doesn't need to be that way. Only we can, you know, make that a thing, make that happen by making the future that they're seeing.
It's not just success. Us. Like, at the end of the day, you got to
the technology has to be there too. I guess.
You also no. What I'm going to say is you also got to realize, if something like this catches the casual gamers market, then whatever you're saying as a hardcore gamer, it gets drowned out by the numbers of the casual. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we'll see.
But that does make sense, though, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, absolutely, it does. Like I just said the same thing with Facebook, right?
Yeah, it was the casual
side, ugly as hell. That shit was ugly and all that, but casual.
The people flock to it like nothing, man. Yo, Crispy, what do you think? How do you feel about if Ori 2 goes to the Switch?
It makes total sense. I mean, the Switch can only handle so much. And I'm going to tell you right now, you look at Ori, you look at the visuals that they've given you in E3 and everything else for Ori 2, and it will blow any Switch owner, truly just casual Switch owner's mind of how great that game looks. And we got to be honest, most Switch owners love platformers, and this is the perfect.
That is a bomb platformer right there, man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's such a bomb, and it has such visuals and the sounds that even I heard, through watching people casting E3 was like, wow, man, this game, I am not a platform player, but I'm interested. You know what I mean?
Did you play the first one?
I did not play the first one. And that's coming from a subjective human being. You know what I mean? I'm very subjective. And I said, I almost want to play this. You know what I mean? And I'm not a platformer.
I was just going to say that game with the hand-painted graphics, how they took hand paintings and then put them into, graphical form through the computer and stuff like that. I will say one thing. Resolution means more on that game than a lot of other games out there, because with the hand painting, you want to see all the lines, you want to see all like the painting strokes and everything like that, to where even on the Switch, a lower resolution isn't gonna make it isn't gonna have it look as good as like a standard console. But at the end of the day, that is still a gorgeous platformer. I cannot wait for the second one. They got me hyped again for this. But going back to the whole Hellblade thing. Tim Brewster in the chat, I just found it. He stated, I feel Hellblade was a good standalone game that doesn't need a sequel. Ninja Theory should make something new. And I will say, I kind of agree with him. I feel like that the first Hellblade was a story about one character and her kind of like path and her struggle in dealing with her dealing with like her psychosis. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it necessarily needs a sequel per se. Shout out to Lucifer hitting up the super chat, and I think K Mega might have already looked at it, but he said
no. Hey, I was looking at Philosopher Doom. He said make sure make sure next podcast show some love to the best selling game this year, MK11.
Ooh,
yeah. So,
ooh.
But yeah,
I'm back in there learning. I'm learning how to play Nightwolf right now. Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of Nightwolf yet, but
full circle. What did I say? That shit is fucking fire, man.
Oh yeah, but he showed me a picture of Raiden with a gun, holding a gun toward me. That's hilarious.
Oh no, yo,
that's great.
Well, shout out to Lucifer in the super chat who says, "K Mega Xbot, check your Twitter." LOL. I'm a little when Lucifer tells you to do something, you get a little scared. You know what I'm saying? I
know.
I will check that when I get a chance, though.
I'm looking right now.
But let's move on in the terms of Gamescom here. Let's go to Knox, man. Knox. First off, I gotta ask if you're excited, interested in Gamescom. You know, we heard Xbox, Bleeding Edge, Ninja Theory is gonna be there showing more Bleeding Edge. I'm gonna see more Battletoads. We know about. We're going to see something with the Gears campaign. We're going to see Horde mode for the very first time. I can't believe I haven't seen any excitement on Twitter or anything about seeing Horde mode in the new Gears.
Because it's Horde mode.
Oh,
it's Horde mode. I mean, they already showed their new mode, right? They and that makes sense because
you can build your own escape maps as well. Like,
well, they showed that, right? This is that escape shit already, right? So that was cool. I whatever it is, it was what it was. I'm interested in seeing campaign footage, more gameplay. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of it. I know we saw a little bit before, but I want to see a lot more. And other than that, man, I'm with K Mega on this, man. Like, it's always great to get gaming news, and that's what we're gonna see. I'm gonna watch it because I watch all that stuff. You know what I mean? But am I like hyped up or man, I can't believe that? Nah, man, nah.
I can't wait. Like, I'm one of those people. I must be in K Mega, like in the same boat with K Mega. Whenever a conference comes around, I get excited either way because I'm gonna hear and I'm gonna see things about games that I haven't seen before. From that aspect, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna watch that and enjoy taking in the information and all that. Yes, but am I like, super excited about? Oh man, are they gonna? What surprises could possibly be there? No, man, not in the slightest, bro. I'll just be like, cool. What do you think Sony's gonna show?
For the best. Same thing with Sony. What else are they gonna show?
Well,
everything. We've already seen everything from Sony.
That doesn't mean Sony won't show it to you again, though.
Yeah, why not? And if it's some new dope shit that I haven't seen, I'll be like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Cool. But am I expecting anything? Nah.
I keep hearing rumors that Ghost of Tsushima is not coming out on PS4 anymore, and it's going to be on PS5 now. One of those games that people have told me, no, it's definitely coming out on PS4 because Sony said so. But I keep hearing it behind closed doors, man. Like
that could be a possibility.
Game, yeah.
That could be a possibility. It's not. This isn't something Sony hasn't put into play and into practice.
They won't talk about that at Gamescom. I guarantee you that.
They got a game that took 700 years to release. So I mean, it's not like they won't do it. You know what I mean? But
I
if
finally
that,
see it.
but if that shit turns out and they do it and it launches and that shit it represents like Sony is known to do, then it is what it is. It'll be worth it then. And their track record shows that they do come through. They do these moves, but they do come through at the end. So,
all right, yo, Crispy, Gamescom,
Yo.
man. Like, are you excited? And what do you think you're gonna see, brother?
I think we're gonna see some. I am
You
the
gotta be
gearhead.
excited for the gear stuff, dude. Hello.
Is going into Inside Xbox. Okay, the campaign is going with Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Okay, in the live, they're gonna do a whole spiel this time. I mean, Jeff Keighley's involved, even though I don't like him. All right, the fact is this guy just he invigorates gaming for some reason. Okay, I don't even think he plays games half the time, but he invigorates gaming, and you hear his name, and then Rod's gonna be on stage with him. Okay, and they're gonna reveal some campaign footage. I think that's how they put it.
That's how they put it. Yeah, they didn't say gameplay. They didn't say. They just said campaign footage, which is like that just makes me want to tune in more to see exactly what they're talking about.
And the point is, it's like a lot of people are like, oh, they just don't want to show it. The problem is they showed too much with the Gears 4. It right at the beginning. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, there's going to be another Locust. But if people wondered what was actually going to be fighting against, and then, you showed the DBs, be like, this isn't a Gears game. So in the end, they did the exact right thing they should have. They combined the two in their own way. And this time, Rod's like, look, we know what the enemy is. We're going to hold it back as long as possible. And don't get me wrong, us as a community said, hey, what's going on here? And in the end, he's like, you know what? I'm going to show something. I'm not going to mess with people's heads. This dude could sit there with a plush pillow and go to sleep with it that has the fucking Lancer all over it. Or literally the Lancer in general. And he is a gearhead to the T. The guy lives, breathes, and just loves gears. And that's why I go back to Halo. Like, did Bonnie Ross get fired? No. And that's the same thing that goes with Rod Ferguson. Okay, them two actually have a great working relationship. They actually bounce a shit ton of ideas off each other. A lot of people don't know that. Okay,
and well, a lot of the first party development when it comes to Microsoft, you've seen like Rare helped out with the water in Forza Horizon 3 with Playground Games. They like deal with each other. They talk to each other. They like literally work together a lot under the first party umbrella. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and of course, these two that have, two shooter-based games that have basically enveloped the entire Xbox brand in general are going to, be cohesive. I mean, where would Gears 5 be without Rod Ferguson? Nowhere. Guaranteed. And that's where I get into why are we bucking out? This is not going to be an E3. This is going to be an Xbox exclusive type thing. But they're going to throw multiplats in there. And where is PlayStation doing this? Where is PlayStation? Where are they doing this? They're not. Because you know what?
PlayStation's going to be there.
But they're going to be there, but are they doing this?
They said that they have things to announce as well. I don't know exactly what's going on. I've been looking for like if there's going to be like a live stream from PlayStation or something like that. I haven't been able to find anything, but they said they were going to be there, and they said they have things to announce. Whether they're going to announce it through like Jeff Keighley for the opening night or something like that, kind of remains to be seen. But they said they have announcements. They have things to show for Gamescom. So they're there.
I mean, I hope they're there in a big way because I haven't seen nothing. I'm going to be honest. Last of Us 2, when I saw that E3, was one of the greatest things I've ever seen as far as like gaming involved.
All right, yo,
And
Crispy, my bad, but somebody in the chat just told me I should have a PS4 to play Knack. I will just leave that there for everybody to kind of just digest a little bit. Keep going, Crispy.
But in general, like, the problem I have is I feel that, and you got to understand, I come from like, I was a Sega Saturn player, and I'd look at, I live right down the street from Blockbuster, and I'd look at the PlayStation wall and the Sega wall, and I'd say, you guys don't have any multiplats. You know what I mean? Like now I call it multiplats. Back then it was like games. And that's the problem. Like, people will sit there and say Xbox has no games. Well, really they do. They have every other game that's a multi-plat that is on Sony. But and I've had this happen. My friend is super, I'm Final Fantasy fanboy. The guy loves Final Fantasy. And he said, look, if Final Fantasy VII Remake comes to Xbox One, you better believe I'm going to be back on Xbox. And I said, why? He said, flat out, I just enjoy the services better. And I said, seriously? He's like, I've been playing on PlayStation for months upon months. Final Fantasy is still kind of exclusive to PlayStation. I can't, but at the same time, I can't, connect with people. And, the party is like so hard to join and this and that. And I'm like, dude, really? And, I sit there and play with people that play on PlayStation and they complain about it. And I'm like, well, why don't you complain about it to the actual people that make this ecosystem? And they have nothing to say.
Yeah, I got you, man. It was definitely hard when I got the PS4. And yo, shout out to Raxel. Dude, those aren't chimes in the background. What they are, Crispy has P. Diddy right behind him clicking glass soda bottles together. He's like, come out and play.
You lie, because I'm muted.
But, guys, on that note, unless anybody has anything left to say, we did go over as usual. But, it is Saturday night. The gamers got a game. So if you guys, does anybody have anything else left to say about Gamescom?
No.
No? All right. Like I said, I will be trying to bring together whether, it's next podcast panel, whether it's, people from the gaming community. I am looking for, people to join a live stream when it comes to Inside Xbox and when it comes to opening night. If you're down for that, send me a DM on Twitter at Xbot448. I know, if a lot of people say they want to be down, I'm not going to be able to get everybody in on it, but it would be cool to have, a couple people from the community in each stream as well. So, yeah, Yobi, you can join, man. Just like I said, send me in DM on Twitter, because I definitely want to get something done with that. But like I said, Gamers Got a Game. It is Saturday night, people. As usual, huge shout out to everybody who checked out the show tonight. Guys, thank you so much. I remember back when we started this show, K-Mega is like, Saturday prime time? Like, you want to go prime time on a Saturday night? And Mega, it's worked out for us, brother.
It has. Still here.
Yeah, it definitely has worked out, man. We have a huge base of supporters who watch this show every Saturday night. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we're growing as well. That's another thing. We're not just sitting there. We're growing. Like the numbers are growing, everything like that, and it's all thanks to you guys in the chat and this incredible panel that I have with me. And speaking of the incredible panel, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, they gotta get those plugs in. Guys, I was able to do it twice tonight. If O Snaps was listening, she'd be twice as mad right now. But let's let's go with K Mega. K Mega, we all know you got GRG on Friday nights. Let people know about that. Let people know about your YouTube channel and where they can go to talk games with you, my brother.
Man, all you can do is come to my channel, K Mega 405. Come in there, check out the GRG podcast every Friday night, right after Crossfire. And man, last night it's a great show. Me and 100 went at it. That's the beautiful thing.
Was it better than when I was on with you guys the week before?
Well, when me and 100 going at it, it was because
okay.
It was just a lot of passion. It wasn't like we were mad at each other. It was just difference of opinions.
It was blood sport in the gaming podcast,
right? Because we was talking about the Halo Master Chief Collection and things like that. So it was really cool. But yeah, no, it was a good show. Went too long as usual, but we had a lot of things to talk about, so we got those knocked out. Also, man, I've been had a Discord for a long time. I just don't advertise shit. That's just my problem.
I don't know how to use Discord.
You can come to GRG Nation. Come in there, man. Want to start a community there? You guys come in there. If you content creators, y'all can go into there. There's a little place where it's for content creators so they can throw out their videos, try to get looked at. We got about 88 people in there now, but we just want to get a community popping in there. So you want to come in there, just start talking about gaming, and just keep it cool, like debate if you want and all that. But like if it just goes too left, I got that ejecto seat cuz button for you. So, but other than that, man, I hope you guys can come check it out. That's the GRG Nation on Discord. So come in there and hang out with us. And man, yeah, other than that, man, have a great weekend. Man, I'm going to sit back, play some games and chill.
I think me and Sir X-Man and whoever wants to join might be playing the Golf Club 2019 tonight. I'm excited, man.
Me and Don most likely going to be playing Borderlands. And then I'll play some Madden.
You sound like you're getting bored of Borderlands too, brother.
No.
Come on, man. Be real.
No, Borderlands is fun. I like it. I actually like it. I think it's really fun. But I mean, there's a lot of things I need to do. I need to get back into playing Tekken again. I need to beat some head in and some Madden. What's his name? Baron, the Nintendo dude. People got it over my head because we beat my ass about 2 years ago in Madden.
Damn, so 2 years and it's still on your mind.
Yeah, man, because it was a beating. I never got my ass whooped like that. But there was some factors that happened. But yeah, no, I got to get revenge. So we got to play. Then I got to jump back with my boy Philosopher and then play some more combat. Get the rust off on that and just game, man. Just enjoy my time while I got it to do. While I got the free time to do it.
Nice. Now, brother, there is an awesome super chat, from Robert Olson, hitting up the super chat, showing love and support to the panel, the show, and the channel. He said, thanks, Xbot and panel. That's all you guys right there for keeping it real. Thank you, brother.
No doubt.
That's what I like, man. That's all you're gonna get from us, man. We are consistent. We share our opinions, whether they are popular, whether they are unpopular, and we talk about games. We talk about the hobby we love. We talk about the news that's coming down, and that's what you're gonna get from us each and every Saturday. So thank you, Robert, for supporting us, supporting the channel, showing that love. Knox, man, you know the drill by now. Like I consider you a podcast professional. You're over there on Xbox Nation. You're doing a bunch of you're almost a mainstay on Crossfire as well. And you're here every Saturday. So you gotta let people know about what you're up to, what's going on with your channel, and where they can go to talk games with you, brother.
Yeah, man, everybody can always hit me up. Knoxximus one on everything, you know what I mean? PSN, Steam, Xbox Live, all that good shit. At Dean Knox on Twitter. You want to shoot the shit with me there, you can definitely come and check out In Knox We Trust. It is on hiatus, but it's right here on YouTube, and you can go ahead and enjoy the content that's already up there. New content will be coming more sooner than later, like I said. But yeah, man, and on Xbox Nation and the next podcast, man, right here, man. Getting it in with some good panels, man. Doing what we do. shooting that shit, talking that game and smacking all that good shit, man.
Just
You
keeping
already.
it real, brother. Just keeping it real.
That's how we do, man. Keep it funky.
Nice. And again, for the second week in a row, we have had my brother Crispy. For people who don't know, this is a CCC panel member, and he's a new panel member on another podcast. I'm gonna let him tell you guys about that. And of course, Crispy, let people know about your mixer and your streaming, and where they can go to talk games, bro.
Retro Renegades. I'm now officially a panel member. Shout out to Graphic God. What an amazing gamer pick he gave me. I mean, I wasn't even thinking of it, and he's just like, bam.
Dude,
right
that
in
is
my
hot
face.
right there. That is hot. It's you, brother. It is you, man.
I mean, you can't deny that is perfect. And I was blown away by it. I mean, he's a great guy, and XboxGamerPicks.com, and like he does some of the best work I've seen. I mean, I am not good with this stuff like you, Xbox. Just saying, you know what I mean. So,
dude, it only took about 3 to 5 years. Like that's all. It's all.
You know, I feel you on that. It took me about 5.5, 6 years. So yeah.
But you'll find me on Retro Renegades every Tuesday night. I'm hoping CCC comes back real soon. I'm just going to leave it out there. Just saying. And in seriousness, we're all gamers. We're not a bunch of donkeys or elephants. We're not freaking talking politics. Let's get behind the games. Let's enjoy them. Let's talk positive about the games themselves, and let's do this, man. I mean, come on. We got to do this. I have also changed my Xbox Live account to CrispyBomb28. It's very simple. You don't even have to move any type of anything. You just put CrispyBomb28, and you're going to get me on Xbox Live, and I love to talk games. Let's do it.
Yeah, he definitely does. And for people who don't know, the reason why he put 28 at the end of his name, because it's been 28 times where he took a gaming discussion and took it left. All right, that's why the 28 is on the end of his gamer tag, people. But
only 28? What?
Only 28 and counting. We'll put it that way. How about that? 28 and counting. But as usual, guys, Gamers Got a Game. We got to get the controllers in our hands. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Tune in next Saturday, 7 p.m., right here for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody. And
happy birthday, Pred.
Yeah, I was just going to say, huge shout out to a panel member, screw that, a family member, Predator, who's celebrating his 21st birthday today. So huge shout out to Predator. 21st birthday today. He is legal right now, so he's probably drunk as all hell. But guys, have a great night. We will see you next Saturday.
Next week, my birthday. Can't wait.
Oh no.
Peace.
Mm-hmm. So pop.